Hey guys, and welcome back to That LP Show. The name of the game is Donkey Kong 64. Last time, we returned to Jungle Japes and finished off all of the item collecting with Lanky Kong, and today we're continuing with Tiny Kong, and hopefully we can finish up with Chunky Kong before the end of this video. As I mentioned before, there is a feather bow switch in this area that we unlocked with Diddy during our first visit, so there's something for Tiny there. Just wanted to gather up these 5 purple bananas before heading in there. And I don't think this guy is going to bother me, but just to be on the safe side, I want to take him out. You never know. Every once in a while, an enemy can get a bug up their ass and act out of the ordinary. So, better safe than sorry. And here we have a new type of bonus stage, Splish Splash Salvage, and this is where the game starts to get obnoxious with its camera. So the idea is to swim around this area and collect all of the coins before the time runs out. But that's easier said than done because the camera is zoomed out instead of being behind Tiny, so it's hard to tell where you are in relationship to the coins. So for this mini game, the developers actually took the bad camera and made it the gimmick. And this mini game is simply a taste of this stupidity. It gets worse, much, much worse throughout the game. They intentionally use bad camera direction to screw with your depth perception, and it's a very, very lazy way to trip up the player. I don't like it. This one wasn't so bad because they mainly kept the coins on the outer edges, so you just needed to hug the walls. Later on, we'll run into situations like this where they're out in the middle of the water with no reference points. Fortunately, I think that's the worst of it, at least for Jungle Japes, so the rest of our stay here will be relatively pleasant. And I don't think Tiny Kong has anything hidden in the water, so we're just going to head back into the caves. Because as you may remember, there was a long trail of bananas towards the back, and anytime you see a trail of bananas, that usually means they lead to something pretty good. And in this case, it's going to lead us to our 6th Banana Fairy. And after we snap a picture of her, it's actually going to unlock one of my favorite features in the mystery menu. And can I get her on my first try? Outstanding. And with our 6th Banana Fairy unlocked, that actually gives us access in the mystery menu to some bonus games, one starring Rambi the Rhino that we can play in order to kill enemies for a high score, and I may or may not show that off because, you know, you guys have seen Rambi before. I might show it off. The other thing that we can play there is the Donkey Kong arcade game. We can play it anytime we want without having to worry about spending coins on it by going back to Frantic Factory. And there's a few other games that we can play in there once we actually unlock them in-game. I will mention those when we get to them, but for right now, I don't want to spoil the surprise for anybody who's never played this game before. So, yeah, that's one of my favorite things in the mystery menu because I just like going and playing the old Donkey Kong arcade game anytime I want. And we won't be unlocking our next mystery menu option until, I believe, 10 Banana Fairies? Yeah, 10 Banana Fairies. But in my personal opinion, everything that we unlock in the mystery menu after this is just, I mean, I guess they're okay, but I just really like being able to play the Donkey Kong arcade game. I guess I just like the old school games, and I can say that without sounding like a hipster because I'm not 22. But anyway, we just hit Tiny's switch, so we have a limited time, a very, very limited time actually, to get her golden banana, but that's fair enough because it's actually really, really close. If I could get these swim controls, what is it with me and the swim controls today? Jesus, I better get used to it because, you know, my favorite stage, which is coming up after we've gotten all these golden bananas in these past few areas, is coming up, and, you know, it involves swimming. If you didn't notice the inflection of my voice, that was sarcasm. Oh, the rage. There will be much rage. Anyway, here's Tiny's Kasplat, so let's go ahead and not get completely destroyed by a shockwave. Stay down. There we go. And with that collected, you can probably see what will be coming through here with Chunky, but in due time. Really? Really? I didn't even hear you buzzing until the last second. Whatever. Let's shoot these switches, and we get to explore a new area of Jungle Japes that we've never seen before, with some big trees. Like the big tree we saw during the DK rap intro that Tiny was just running up in spite of the fact that she does not have that ability. In fact, nobody can climb those particular trees except for Chunky Kong, and only when he's using the Hunky Chunky ability. Anyway, if we shrink down and bounce on this mushroom here, we get a really awkward camera angle as we fly into the air, but we can drop down that hole for another golden banana. Okay, and these next bananas can be really easy to miss if you're not paying attention, but you'll see these hollowed out logs here, and in our shrunken form with Tiny Kong, they're more like tunnels, and you can already see the purple bananas in there. And when we walk through here, it's all automated. It's weird. I guess I shouldn't complain, because when you're running through there, your crystal coconut counter stops counting down, so I guess that's nice. You don't end up wasting them. And I will go through that number 5 teleporter in a little bit here, because I believe there's some coins for Tiny Kong on the other side, if memory serves. Anyway, there's another banana medal. And if I'm remembering how to math correctly, that should mean that we only need 2 more in order to unlock Cranky Kong's special surprise. Can you grab the bananas, please? Thank you. And we're gonna run into some big enemies here because we're still in our shrunk down form. Fortunately, since we're kind of stuck in here, our crystal coconut counter is not in effect. It's pretty much just like we've walked into Giant Land. And I want to take out this big claptrap. There we go, because I don't want him charging at me and bothering me while I'm shooting this balloon. And pounding on this switch to open up a gate. So I get some Zelda vibes from this little area. And I know I probably shouldn't. I don't know, it's something about the way that the rooms are arranged. It's like you have a central area with branching paths, and then you go down one path to a dead end where there's a switch and you hit it to open up a door, and then you go into that, back into the central area to enter that unlocked door, and then go to another dead end, hit another switch, and it opens up into another area, a bigger area where you can go inside and get a MacGuffin. And I know it's probably been done a million times before in a million other games, but here, in this case, for some reason, I just get a real Zelda vibe from it. Which, I guess is fair enough. They're both Nintendo IPs. Alright, whatever. I'm rambling. I just want to take care of that big claptrap so he's not bothering me. And there are zingers around here, and I was gonna say you're okay ignoring them, but apparently they just wanted to home in on me today. Okay. And this should do it for all of her bananas. And this should do it for Tiny until we turn in the blueprints. We'll get out of here now and move on to Chunky Kong. That is to say, if I can find the exit without getting... There we go. Actually, you know what? There is one more thing that I want to do with Tiny. It's not too much. It's that thing that I said that I wasn't going to do in the game, but I'm still going to do it. We got that number 5 teleporter. And how am I doing on crystal coconuts? I think I'm full. Yeah, I'm full. Anyway, if you remember our first trip here, we found the other side of this number 5 pad on top of quote-unquote Spiral Mountain, so... Let's go to the top, and we have 5 purple coins for Tiny. Yeah, I know I said I wouldn't keep going out of my way for them, yet I keep going out of my way for them. Whatever. I don't think it was that far out of the way because there's the tag barrel right here. Okay, so how much? Yeah, we have time. I'm gonna finish up Jungle Japes today. So we got some coins back here. Easy to miss if you're not paying attention. But we want to jump in here and immediately go all hunky-chunky. Because there is a bonus barrel. Wait, didn't we already explain this in Frantic Factory? Whatever. There's a barrel right above us that is too high up for Chunky to reach at regular size, and I thought the game almost froze there. That was weird. Took a while to load. Anyway, this is Minecart Mayhem. We pretty much just want to not crash into the other cart that's going in the opposite direction, and we can do this by switching lanes at each of these junctions by either pressing up or down or left or right depending on what side we're on. And we can hold down the Z button in order to speed up, and we can press the B button. And there's a few of these throughout the game, and this one's not so bad because it's only one other cart, and he goes pretty slowly. We'll be running into variations later on with two very fast carts and a much longer time limit, so you have to last longer. But I believe they always go in a set pattern. I don't think it's random. Anyway, back in the barrel because the banana spawned, just like the barrel, way too high for us to reach normally, so we have to be big in order to reach it, apparently with our toes. And we also have to be big to climb these giant trees so we can go up to the top and grab these green bananas up on the trunks. These are special trees. Like I said before, only Chunky can climb them, and only when he's using the Hunky Chunky ability. So, yeah, if you were paying attention during the DK rap, there was some false advertising in that when they showed Tiny just running up one of them. Okay, so let's follow Chunky's trail of green bananas to get out of here. I see you, Zinger. You're not going to get the drop on me again. And I should probably knock you out so you don't come up behind me with a shockwave and get me by surprise. And that one's far enough to where I don't have to worry about it. And you're probably wondering at this point, because we seem to have explored every single location here, where is Chunky's Kasplat? Where's his green blueprint? Well, if we pick up this giant rock, well, first of all, let's go ahead and throw it. I threw a rock at him. So that's another golden banana for Chunky. So you probably see this X right here. Chunky weighs 2,000 pounds. So if we keep butt stomping it, it breaks. And we find a new area. Alright, follow the trail of green bananas. And following this trail right here can get a little tricky at times because it's narrow. And every once in a while, the lighting goes really, really dim. And you got to stop for a few seconds so you don't accidentally fall off. Let's see if I can get both of these fast enough. There we go. For each one of those you shoot, vines drop down on the corresponding side. And there's Chunky's Kasplat right over there. Real small platform, and I don't want to run the risk of him getting me with a shockwave and knocking me off, so I'm just going to get him with the pineapple launcher from here and quickly put it away and swing over really, really fast because these blueprints fade away really, really fast. And we don't want that to happen. I mean, the Kasplat will respawn and we can try again, but it's just inconvenient. Alright, and swinging back can be a little tricky. First of all, let's jump off and get these. What we want to do is, once we get to the other side here, we want to time it right, jump off about halfway through the swing and immediately do a butt stomp. Because if you don't, he'll just jump over to the rope on the other side of the platform, and you'll just be stuck swinging forever and ever and ever. So you kind of got to trick it. And as we come around here towards the cannon to get out of here, you can see that there are some purple coins there for Tiny Kong. So I'm going to hit up a tag barrel, and I'm going to go down there with Tiny and get those. But I'll do that off screen so we don't have to watch a bunch of backtracking. Okay, I'm back with Chunky, and Tiny Kong is a few points or a few coins richer. You're just going to have to take my word for it. And so is Chunky with those green coins that we just got there. And now that we're done with all the new areas, let's head back into an old area, into the back of the caves, because Chunky has a few more things back here. No golden bananas, but quite a few regular bananas, at least in that little alcove towards where the banana fairy was. I think there's only this one banana bunch right here for 5. And there we go, and the electricity does not hurt him. It's only there for decoration. Okay, he does have one of those time challenges for a golden banana, but the switch to trigger it is actually at the back of this cave under a giant rock instead of around Cranky's lab. So here it is right there, but first we'll go ahead and take out these balloons here. Come on, there we go. And that, I believe, is no, one more, but we'll get that in Angry Aztec. We're almost to Cranky's 15 medal requirement. Oh, you lose a little weight there, Chunky. You were looking kind of 16-bit there for a second. And no, of course the camera is fixed. Okay, now I can turn it. Let's head back to that number 4 teleporter. I wasn't imagining that, right? When it transitioned to show where the golden banana was located, Chunky just kind of dropped a whole bunch of polygons there and looked all pixelated. Huh. I wonder if it would have been quicker if I just, ran to the opening of the cave instead of taking the teleporter, because I only got like 20 seconds left. I think I can make it. Hit up the number 2 pad, and I believe it's by Funky's shop. No, it's actually over here by Snide's. I think. Yeah, there it is. Okay, awesome. Now all we gotta do is turn in those blueprints, but Chunky still has the matter of about 10 more green bananas. Where could they be? Yeah, they're down here on top of Funky Kong's roof. Kinda tricky. There we go. Now we're done. Let's turn in those blueprints. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make you guys sit through it. So how are we doing? Let's see. Lanky Kong is good. Tiny Kong is good. Chunky Kong is good. Excellent. That is Jungle Japes completed 100%. So now we are going to move on to Angry Aztec, but that's going to have to wait until next time. And until next time, thank you for watching That LP Show, and have a one that is good.